Good morning, all. Today we are discuss about what is demand curve and shift in demand curve. So the demand curve is a graphical representation of the relationship between the price and demand. So it is also in relationship between the price and demand. So the graph shows the commodity. The graph shows the in commodity price on the in a y-axis and the quantity x-axis it follows the in economic law of demand. So it is also in a so below diagram the price of the in y-axis the x-axis is the in quantity of demand. So according to the in law of demand, when the product price decreases, its demand increases. So it is also in vice versa. So it is also in opposite relationship between the so product price decreases and demand increases. So the fundamental principle chart the change in demand for the goods at the in different price levels. So the change in demand it can be in effect to the in different price levels also. So next one, demand curve. So the demand explain what the demand curve. The demand curve correlates in goods demand at in various prices. So the goods it can be indicated to the in different prices. So demand can be inelastic or inelastic. So demand also it can be inelastic and inelastic. Elasticity here refers to the demand being insensitive to price. So it is also price sensitive. In alternatively, in certain markets, demand is not affected by the changes in prices in elastic demand. So there is no change to the price of commodity. It is also in elastic demand. So it's also in demand curve. So in economics, the demand curve is based on the law of demand. The law of demand depicts in inverse relationship between the goods price and goods demand. So it is also in economic demand curve. It is also in inverse relationship between the so goods of price and the goods of demand. So based on the in price changes. So it can be in based on the in price changes. So the curve can shift to downward or upward. So hence the law of demand render a downward sloping curve and a demand goes up when goods pricing falls. So it is also in demand. So downwards sloping curve. So the demand goes to the in high. The price it is also in fall. So it is also in demand curve. So in this diagram, so it is also in y-axis, it is also in x-axis. X-axis it can be indicated the quantity of demand. So y-axis it can be indicated to the so price of the products. So DD is the in demand curve. So it can be moved to the in left to right. So it is also in downward to the in x-axis. So next one shift in demand curve. So the demand curve shifted towards the right, so rightwards and increases in consumer preference or income level leads to rise in goods demand. So it is also demand curve in shift to the in a rightwards. Uh, the consumer prefer to the in income levels also it can be in decreases. So the rise in goods also in demand. So when the supply of goods in decreases, when the consumer participate in future price of price. So it is also in supply of goods will be in decreases. The consumer the purchasing power also in a rise. So in the future, so demand increases a rightward shift of the shift of the curve. So in this two diagrams in demand curves, so one of the in shift towards to the left, so another one is the in a down. So in first one it shift towards the right. So it is also DD is the in demand curve. So the price will be increases, so the demand will be in decreases. So the curve is the in it can be downfall to the inner x-axis. So DD is the in demand curve. So it is also in increasing to the in price levels. So x-axis పైన demand, y-axis పైన price indicate చేయడం జరిగింది. So another one is so it can be so demand also increases to the in price commodity. So it can be in right. So it can be in right. So demand curve it can be is shift to the inner y-axis. So it can be indicated to the inner so y-axis. So it can be moved to the in upwards. So in this DD is the demand curve is the in downwards to the inner y-axis. So it is also indicates to upwards to the in y-axis. So shift towards in left. So left కి ఏ విధంగా షిఫ్ట్ అవుతుందంటే in contrast when the consumer preferences income levels decreases. సో కన్సూమర్ యొక్క ప్రిఫరెన్సెస్ అనేటివి సో అదేవిధంగా అతని యొక్క ఇన్కమ్ లెవెల్స్ అనేటివి డిక్రీస్ అయితే దేర్ ఈస్ ఫాల్ ఇన్ డిమాండ్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ ఫాల్ట్. సో ప్రోడక్ట్ యొక్క డిమాండ్ అనేది డిక్రీస్ కావడం జరుగుతుంది. సిమిలర్లీ ఏ రైజ్ ద సప్లై ఆఫ్ గూడ్స్. సో ఇట్ కెన్ బి ఇన్ యాంటిసిపేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ ప్రైస్ reduces to the demand. In such scenarios, the curve shift in leftwards. So it can be in a shift to the in a rightwards and leftwards. So movements along the demand curves. So upward movements and downward movements. So if the curve moves upward, the price of the goods increases, the demand falls in same rate. So in this first curve, so it is also in price of the product increases. So demand also in decreases. In this DD curve is the in a downward to the in x-axis. So next one, downward movements. On the other hand, if there is a downward movement, the price of the goods fall, in demand also rises. So it is also price also fall. So demand also in rises. So price అనేది తగ్గి సో డిమాండ్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినట్లయితే సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ డౌన్వర్డ్ మూమెంట్ చూపించడం జరుగుతుంది. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఇన్ షిఫ్ట్ ఇన్ డిమాండ్ కోర్స్ లెఫ్ట్ అండ్ రైట్ మూమెంట్స్.